So I told you about the first 2 months, should have been fired 15 times. And I was up 3 streets away. I was up on York Street. And I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be the first one in, last one out every single time. And regardless of whatever it is that's going on around me, if I'm the first one in, last one out, and the managers see me doing that, at least I won't get fired. They know I'm putting in the initiative. Maybe they'll move me to a different spot.
Hey, welcome to the show, Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. This is Coach James Short, aka Shorty. And this is a show for those within the real estate industry wanting to lead and grow their real estate business. It's a series of interviews that we conduct for those within the industry. So we're finding out what those leaders are within the industry, what makes them tick, what's their story, what are their strategies, and how to become the leaders and the growers within the industry. But also it's an interview series with those outside of the industry. I'm always a big believer of looking at a whole different part of the pie rather than just focusing on one part of the pie. Because what it does, it allows you to have a different perspective, allows you to get snippets or golden nuggets from those outside of the industry that can look into the industry and go, there's a different perspective. And I encourage you to reach out to the guests. I encourage you to lean into these series to find out how can these pieces of information, experiences, stories help you lead and grow your real estate business.
Welcome back to another edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. We are in the amazing office of It's Simple Finance in Sydney in Barangaroo with the man of the moment, Joey Daoud, mate. Super honoured and privileged to be here in your office today, mate. Thank you for allowing us in.
Mate, I have never received an intro like that. I've never seen somebody smile that wide when they meet me. So thank you so much for having me on, James. And welcome to our studio. This is a bit unorthodox for us, as I do a lot of content, but you were in Sydney and I said,
why not? Let's go.
You take it, mate. You take it. What's mine is yours. So anytime you want to come past, and this is yours to use now, mate.
Fantastic. Let's give it a little bit of an introduction. So Joe is the director of It's Simple Finance, a firm that lives up to its name by stripping away the jargon and the complexity to help Australians borrow smarter and live better. Joe started his career at Macquarie Bank back in 2018, I think it was, yes. And where he developed a deep understanding of how banks operate and then used that knowledge to advocate fiercely for his clients. He's been recognised at the highest level, winning both the MFAA Excellence in Customer Service Award for New South Wales and for all Australia. And in financial year 25 alone, Joe and his team served over 201 million amazing loans, helping clients across residential, commercial and corporate lending. And if you need proof of impact, just look at the 190 plus, I reckon there's more now, 5-star Google reviews and the constant stream of glowing feedback from his clients.
That's your 105.
There we go.
This morning. Sorry, mate.
Oh, good. Beyond the business, Joe is also a proud dad, 2-month-old son, Charles.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Bringing a fresh lens to the idea of building long-term wealth, stability and freedom through property. Honour and a privilege to have him on the show, live in his own guest podcast quarters. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Wow, that's a lot. Honestly, when you hear that, it's a little bit of it's humbling. You work so hard, you don't sleep, you put in the hours, and then you hear all of that. It's cool. So thanks so much for saying that. To all your listeners, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. Let's go back to the early Macquarie days.
Yes.
How the hell did you start there, and what was that journey like to get there?
Macquarie is a very funny story. So I'll go back to university. I was a personal trainer and I went overseas with me and my mates.
Yep.
And when I was there, I realized I wasn't making any money. Okay. And when I got back to Australia, it was so difficult for me to build back my client book. I sat there and I'm going, okay, so it took me 2.5 years to build this client book. Get back to Australia, I don't have the same client book. It took me 6 weeks to build that income back up. I go, I need to figure something out. Because this isn't for me. And I sat there and I go to myself, what did you like at school? Maths, okay. And economics, all right, cool. Let's see if there's any degrees out there. So I applied for university and I got a degree in economics and maths. Now, once I completed university, quickly people realize an economics degree, it sounds smart, Applied mathematics, yes, okay, that might be a little bit difficult, but there's no specific role that you can go into outside of working for the Reserve Bank of Australia or moving into actuary studies.
Interesting. Okay.
So I got my diploma and my certificate 4 in mortgage broking just because I was like, okay, we'll get an extra set of skills. We'll figure it out. And I started applying for jobs, and I had, and I'm going to start this thing, I had job interviews with Westpac, Lendy, CBA, and Macquarie Bank. And I'll never forget, I was walking to the interview with Westpac, and Macquarie Bank called me and they said, hey, we want to offer you a job. Are you interested? I didn't know what the job was.
Right.
Zero idea. Senior banking specialist. I had done 8 rounds of interviews, but I just knew the name Macquarie meant something strong in Australia. You work at Macquarie Bank, it's like working at JP Morgan Credit Suisse in America sort of thing. So I go to myself, no, I'm taking the job. I get there, I will never forget it. I had no idea what the role was for. But it's because I had the extra diploma and the extra certificate for mortgage broking that they go, oh, no, you're a senior banking specialist and we're going to be putting you in the mortgages side of the business. I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, haven't done a transaction in my life. Not one customer interaction.
Wow.
And they go, this is your phone. These are the 4 clients we're booking you with today. And go ahead. And I go, okay, so I'll let you know now. I should have been fired 15 times in my first 3 weeks. Made that many mistakes. And they gave me the training manual and I read it. I tried to rewrite it a million times because the way I learn is just writing it over and over in repetition. And just what ended up happening was, I'll still never forget this. And sorry if I'm dragging on. My manager, I think she was going to fire me. I promise you, I think she was going to fire me, but I had called the client to make sure that they were okay and everything. Client was happy, and manager walks over. She's very angry. Okay, I'm like, on the phone to the client right now. I'll come over to you in about 3 hours. Otherwise, I'm done. So as soon as I hang up the phone with the client, I walk over to the manager and go, hey, I know you're upset with me. What's going on? She completely forgot what she was angry about. But I think she appreciated the fact that I went over there and I took the initiative, I took accountability. I'm not trying to hide from her or anything. She was quite happy with that. So month 1, settle nothing. Month 2, settle 2 mil. Month 3, 3. And then month 4, 20. Month 5, it was 40. And then all of a sudden they go to me, okay, what are you doing differently? I'm like, I'm not doing anything different. I'm listening to the client.
Yep.
What do they need? What do they want to achieve? And how can we help them achieve that? By actively listening and understanding their scenario and making sure it fits Macquarie's policy, or if we do need an exception here or there, we can ask credit for it. But truthfully understanding what they need. And that's where I started to develop that deep relationship. And I still remember on the phone every single time, it just kept getting brought up over and over. I'm going to make you laugh, but it was like, thanks for making it simple, Joe. Thanks for making it simple. Thanks for making it simple. And I was like, oh, it's sticking. So I bought didn't buy it. I registered the ABN.
Yep.
It's simple. Purchased a domain. It's simple.com.au. Can't believe it was available.
Wow.
And then around September, I think it was October 20, it was a few months after they had moved me to the high performance table and stuff, the quad, my father had a heart attack. So dad has a heart attack. He's still good.
Yep.
Okay. He's just got off the phone with him now. But we needed somebody to come into the family business, step into the family business and wrap everything up so that dad could retire.
Yeah.
So go to my manager and I go, sorry, I'm leaving. Dad's had a heart attack. She's, oh my God.
Yeah.
Usually when a broker or a banker tells their manager that they're leaving, they walk them out because they're scared that person's going to take clients. They kept me there for 6 extra weeks, doing customer service and making sure that everything's okay. And I could not believe it. And after I told people that story, they're like, they must have really liked it. Trust me. I go, why would they not? Why would I go against anything? And I'm still friends with every single person in that team to this day. And I always appreciate my journey there because it taught me how to be a broker, how to listen to people, and how to problem solve.
So if you think back about that time that you were at Macquarie, what would be your biggest lesson that you learned about yourself and business?
Oh man, what a question. Work so hard that people can't deny you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alex Formosi, who we spoke about off camera, said something like this recently. But so I told you about the first 2 months, should have been fired 15 times. And I was up 3 streets away. I was up on York Street. And I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be the first one in, last one out every single time. And regardless of whatever it is that's going on around me, if I'm the first one in, last one out, and the managers see me doing that, at least I won't get fired. They know I'm putting in the initiative. Maybe they'll move me to a different spot.
Yep.
And the biggest lesson I learned is if you want to achieve, if you put in enough reps, if you put in enough hours, you will. If you ask the right questions, if you take accountability, it will happen. Doing those sorts of things and listening to the people who have done it before you, you take a little bit from each person, you pay attention to it, and you implement it in your own way. And I think that was my biggest takeaway. My senior manager, pretty sure he was in charge of our whole section. Macquarie's got 5 key sections. He told me I should have been fired within my first 18 months.
Yep.
And he goes, "Bud, I worked through it. I took ownership. And when you take that sort of ownership, that's what makes people appreciate you. At least you're willing to go up to them.
Yeah.
And you are willing to face the repercussions if something was to go wrong. But you also get the ownership of when things go good too."
And I think just summarising that, like doing the reps, and as you said, getting in there early, getting in there late, putting the reps in, having key mentors and models that you look up to, just like these 2 guys up on the wall beside us, is doing those reps over and over again. And I think that what I would be understanding is that then that taking into the new business of It's Simple, like you had this idea, you had this concept. How did that come to life? Share with us that journey of how did that idea spark into this amazing business that it is today?
Amazing business. Stop flattering me. I don't do well with compliments. How did it spark? We've got 1 year to wrap up all of Dan's projects so he can retire. And it was 2019, December 2019, when I registered the ABN, and as you heard, But I said to myself, you know what? People are still calling me and asking me, how do I do this for finance?
Sure.
So one thing I forgot to mention, I've never mentioned this before on camera, is towards the end of my tenure with Macquarie, I had to tell them to stop booking me meetings because I was getting enough personal referrals outside of the bank that I was bringing new customers to the bank. Not many people do that. And that's because I love everything. I loved every part about finance. And you know when you just gravitate towards stuff? Yeah. So because I loved being able to help first home buyers, loved being able to assist people trying to acquire finance, whether it was to grow a business or grow their property portfolio, I just started posting about it. And you say this amazing business, the amazing business is born from educating people. It's because people are yearning for that information. They always say attention is new currency. I don't believe that. I believe that educational, valuable attention or educational, valuable content is the new currency. Because if you can provide that out there and you can take a very complex scenario and explain it in layman's terms, that is where it was born from. So I realized I had a knack for talking to people, as you can see.
Loves to chat.
15 minutes in, we're still on the intro. But what I noticed was I have first home buyers coming up to me and they don't understand at the time it was called the FHLDS.
Yep.
Oh, can I buy with a 5% deposit? I didn't know that. I'm like, how do you not know that? Or can I get a stamp duty concession? I wasn't aware of that. Or I didn't know there were other banks outside of CBA. So just by providing that educational content, gravitated people towards us. And I spent the first couple of years focusing more on lead gen, but then I thought to myself, if I can problem solve the issues out there of people faster than the people I had implemented in the business, you know what, I'm going to become a broker again. And when I became the broker, I realized I was getting these formal approvals in 1 to 2 days.
Yeah.
I was, my favorite hero story, because we all have our unicorns in our hero stories and all that stuff. I had a cardiologist approach us and they've got a broker in the hospitals. And they approached us and they said, hey, can you give me a higher pre-approval? Of course we can. You're a cardiologist. They were pre-approved for $600,000. Now, I'm not too sure what the hospital broker was doing, but we got them not pre-approved, formally approved in 3 hours and 39 minutes.
Wow.
So I often like to tell people that when you get anxious applying for a home loan, they didn't get to have anxiety.
I think they're cardiologist.
I'll never forget it. We got them to sign the documents at 10:40 in the morning. They're like, all right, I'm off to work. And then it was 1:46 p.m. or something. We got the email saying they'd been formally approved.
Amazing.
And I text messaged them and they go, I just finished work. Thank you so much. I don't think they had realized because they were purchasing their first investment. So they're sitting there and they're like, Walking around the hospital the next day, people going, oh, how are you going with your property search and everything? Oh, and she's going, oh, I've already been formally approved. They're like, what? When did you apply? Yesterday? And people are confused, and it's all about understanding the right concepts and providing that value out there, making sure people understand different strategies and stuff. And that's how, the business was born. The business was born on making finance simple.
Yep.
We want to provide enough content out there where people can make their own financial decision, but they come to us because we assist them. You have to remember, we're brokers. We get paid by the bank. We don't get paid by the customer. Okay, so they can learn all of our educational content, but why would they not use us to implement it? If we're the experts already, we're here to make it simple for you. We want you to grow. There's been so many things out there to prevent us from growing. Come here, we'll make sure that we'll build you a nice property portfolio if you need it.
Fantastic.
So
then where is it now? Where's the number of years in, good growth, you've had some great impact. Where is the business now? And we'll start with there because then I'll go future.
Where's the business now?
Who are you helping? Who are you serving?
My market has changed.
Okay.
So the more experience that you get, the higher value the customer becomes.
Sure.
And it's just a natural progression.
Hey guys, just a little side note here. How's it going? Are you on track this year? I know that sometimes this part of the year we can feel like we're in a bit of a grind, a bit of in the trenches. Are you on track from the original plans that you set out for the rest of this year? What I've realized is that with this time of year, we get so distracted and we've got trying to chase so many shiny balls and go down so many rabbit holes. And that's why I created a program called the 90. It's a framework that actually allows you to achieve more in 90 days than ever before. Some of the feedback that we've got from some of the people that have used the process, the 90, is that they've achieved more in 90 days than the whole previous year. So if you'd like to have the tools, have the techniques, have the framework on the 90, so you and your team can achieve more in 90 days than ever before. What it does, it impacts you of how to get clear, what you need to do, and who you need to be to show up in order to achieve the things you want to achieve over the next 90 days. Simply head over to jamesshort.com.au, click on join the waitlist, fill in your details, and one of the team members will be in touch and take you through the 90 framework. On with the show.
I started writing loans again December 23. I still remember my first clients, but I helped them grow a $2 million property portfolio.
Great.
And they were living in a red brick apartment previously, worth $400K, now they've got $2 million. Who isn't happy with that? Now this year, I'm starting to get the clients that are doing commercial acquisition. They want to buy another factory. They're looking to buy 13,000 squares out this way. They're looking to retirement villages. I think we spoke about this off camera.
Totally.
So we're starting to get a lot of these large ticket commercial clients. And the reason I bring that up is we still got our team. We still take care of all of our residential clients, of course. But my attention right now specifically is spent on a lot of the large scale acquisitions and helping businesses grow. Because over the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of people have been handicapped by certain, I don't even want to say government schemes, but certain rules within banking. Brokers always say, oh, I'm connected to 40 lenders. Sorry, I know I'm diverting here, but tangenting. But they always say I'm connected to 40 lenders. I go, okay, how many policies do you know by heart? Oh, none. Okay, cool. And then people come to me, how many banks are you connected to? 13. Wait, everyone else is connected to 40. Yeah, but I know there are 13 policies.
Yeah.
You know?
Different.
So
Different.
we get the commercial clients coming over and we go, okay, we're going to place you here, we're going to place you here. And they go, oh, thanks for making it simple. So it kind of comes back around to that. So a lot of my transactions right now are spent on construction.
Yep.
Okay. I've got a meeting later today for a nice 10-story high-rise.
Beautiful.
Recently, we did a $14 million transaction. That was a one-touch formal approval.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool. I'll show you the submission for that one after. I had to build my own servicing calculator for that one. But yeah, it's being about being connected to all the different lenders and being able to submit those commercial clients to the right banks.
Yeah, great.
So we're moving in that direction. And then for the future, we've got 2 key tangents or 2 key parts of the business that we will be launching soon. And I'm certain you want to know plenty about that.
Please share.
What we noticed was we were getting a lot of medical professionals come through. So I spoke about the cardiologist prior, but we've also had dentists. We've also had nurses. We've had midwives. We've had other doctors come through. And what we noticed was these doctors, they want the attention to detail.
Yep.
And they want to deal with individuals that aren't just going to go submit their deals everywhere, or they're not going to go to lenders that are going to share their data with everyone, because they're worried about that stuff. The other thing about doctors is they don't trust artificial intelligence, AI. They do not trust it at all. They're all high income earners, but they've spent the last 15 years of their life, some of them, studying medicine. They don't understand property, they don't understand real estate, they don't understand LVR. LVR to you and I is a basic term. But to a doctor, they think, I don't know what that means. And they hesitate. So they want to go to someone like that, a professional. So I've teamed up with 2 doctors and my wife, who's an optometrist. And we're launching another segment of our business called It's Medical Finance.
Fantastic.
And the reason we've opened this, or we're launching this, is because we want to be able to assist anyone in the medical field be able to achieve their property dreams. You're earning high incomes. You've been studying for 14 years. You've got a HECS debt that's over $100,000. Should you not have something at the end of it? So we're providing that platform for them. And as very educational, love talking, love witchy wag, but we're launching the mentorship business as well.
Super exciting.
Which is called Home Loan University.
Great.
And I just noticed that we're in an industry, mortgage broking. We've got 4,000 new brokers coming in every single year.
Wow.
But we also have about 1,500 leaving.
Really? Why are they?
They fail.
Okay.
They fail. And to become a fully accredited broker in our industry, you need to spend 24 months with an endorsed mentor or a mentor. And I've gone through these mentorship programs myself, and I'm not going to discredit anyone, but what I will say is the market has changed.
Yep.
We have to teach brokers and we have to educate them on how they're going to compete with a bank. I get brokers all the time saying to me, I want to set up Facebook ads. I go, no, you don't. I go, that's the stupidest thing you could do. They go, why is that? I go, what's your budget? What's your spend every single month? They go, I don't know. The average person doesn't buy anything until they see it 13 times.
Yeah.
So that means your ad has to pop up 13 times. Your cost per acquisition, your CPL, so your cost per lead is going to be $300. Your cost per acquisition might be $1,200. Okay? Because out of every lead, how many are going to be successful? 1 in 4?
Correct.
25%? Okay, cool. So you have to spend $1,200 every single month just for one lead. How many leads do you need to be able to break even? More than that. Okay? Guess who you're competing with for attention? CBA, NAB, Macquarie Bank, UBank, Bank West. How big are their marketing expense? So what I noticed in the industry is you might become a broker. You're going to jump on LinkedIn, tell everybody you're a broker. The first 10 messages you're going to receive are, hey, we're offshore implementation partners and we've helped these groups do this and this. And guess what? They're going to completely rob you blind. You're going to get some ad agency out there promoting you and saying, oh, we're going to
get so many leads.
We're going to get you so many leads. Take it. So a wise man learns from his mistakes. A wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. Take it from the person that made the mistakes.
Yep.
Okay? I've made these mistakes. I've been burnt before. Okay? I've had these ad agencies hit me up. I had one ad agency promise me the world, and we were getting people from South Africa, okay, South African phone numbers in our CRM, and they're asking us for home loans for properties in Cape Town or Joburg. I can't remember where it was. I'm sitting there, I'm like, these people are actually robbing me.
Wow.
What the mentorship program, guys, I'm sorry, you're going to get a lot of tangents throughout this episode.
Right. That's what it's all about.
But what the mentorship program provides is, okay, how are you going to build your own brand awareness?
Correct.
Okay? How are you going to make people understand what it is that you do?
Yep.
What is your niche?
Yep.
Okay? Who do you want to help specifically? I know when I first started It's Simple, I wanted to help first home buyers.
Yep.
Why? Because all my mates were first home buyers. Okay? Now all my friends, self-employed individuals, okay, doctors and medical practitioners that want to scale and they want to possibly, hey, I want to open another dental clinic. Or, you know what, I want to go off on my own. I need to be able to lease this part of the hospital. I need a business loan.
Yeah.
That's my circle of friends. So how are we going to attract those people and make sure they stay with you as well? Because a big thing about being a mortgage broker is clawback. How do you retain your customers?
Yeah.
How do you keep them happy? How do you make sure that you're communicating with them at all times? And how do you take ownership when things go bad?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to be launching that program, and that will be hopefully launched by Liam. No, I'm joking. Liam's our camera guy. Yeah, no,
And I think what I'm hearing is that it's really, you go deep in understanding who your clients are, and you have an understanding of their characteristics, their behaviours, their needs and their wants, and then adapt your communication, adapt your requirements for them so you can take them on the journey and help service them, but also then building that relationship over time, because we talked about building relationships. It's not just for the quick now, it's for that long term. Would that be a fair call, and really understanding who you're working with and taking them on that journey?
So when you become a mortgage broker, you need to understand this isn't a transaction. You are building a client book, okay? The value of a mortgage broker comes from their trail book. You need to make sure that is maintained. Thankfully with us, I think our clawback rate is at 1 or 2%.
Amazing.
That's low, okay, in our industry, extremely low. But how is that maintained? The constant communication and understanding that these are people like you and I. You have a certain set of skills to be able to help them grow in their wealth. You have to treat these people like your brothers, your sisters, your cousins. I've got 82 of those. One eyebrow here. But it's making sure that you understand that every single person has their own universe. James, you haven't met me in person until today, right? You have your own universe. You have your own peripherals. You have your own family. You have all these people around you that need you to support them.
Yep.
I am a broker. So I am connected to the 40 different banks that are out there, of which I use 13. But I'm connected to them. If you approach me for finance, okay, you are trusting me with the growth of your business or the growth of your property portfolio. You are trusting me to make sure that you can take care of your partner. You can take care of your family. So who am I as an individual to deny you that access? No, I've been given a certain set of skills. And if I am good at that, I need to create that for you, okay? And the reason why the relationships are maintained is because I am sitting there and I'm being empathetic towards you, okay? I am understanding, I'm trying to sit in your shoes and make sure I fulfill what I've said, okay? So I take a lot of accountability, and I think you realize that from the Macquarie days. And by holding that accountability and knowing that people are trusting me to build their futures, I just always put myself in their shoes. Okay, if I'm a police officer and I'm earning 120K a year, or including my overtime, my efforts are going towards that. I need someone in my back corner that I can trust, that I can call at any time and say, hey JD, can you take care of this because I want to look at this property? Is there enough rental income in there for me to be able to service the loan? Correct. And being able to provide that quick answer and being able to streamline that communication. And I'm grateful to say I've got relationships with every single one of my clients. You know, we have client appreciation nights, of which we had over 150 people there last year.
Amazing.
Like,
huge.
When you do that sort of stuff, that is what keeps you in the game for longer. And I'm not saying you have to throw client appreciation nights. Throw your clients a random text message that isn't automated. Okay, so don't rely on your CRM. Don't rely on technology to do everything, because you are not in the technology business as a broker.
Yep. You
are in the relationship business, and you need to make sure that you take care of all your clients. And if you don't want to be on that side, and you don't want to be able to do large-scale stuff or anything like that, fair dinkum to you, okay? You want to be on the transactional side? Okay. But make sure you present yourself like that, okay? And always be honest with people.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just let you know, your interest rate's going to be a little bit higher because you don't qualify for the big four. You actually have to go to a second-tier lender. I want to get a second opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell them to go to another broker.
So we have a lot of real estate agents and principals listening to the show and watching the show.
Hi guys.
All right. There's a great opportunity to really help the buyers and the vendors on that property journey, which you've already mentioned. Where do you see the brokers and the agents' relationship fall down? And then where can they really harness and really service the client to another level?
There are levels to this question, because none of my referral partners, and I'm going to be honest with you, are real estate agents.
Interesting.
All my referral partners are accountants. Okay? And the reason I bring this up is because I've been burnt in the past, okay? So maybe if you are a real estate agent, hey, listen to this, because I'm just trying to make sure that maybe we can mend the relationship. I don't know. Okay. But what happened with me was I was working with a project marketing group, and you know, they wanted me to help somebody who had $100,000 in personal loans, car debt, credit cards maxed out, help them get a loan. And I just sat there and I go, They can't. You shouldn't be selling a property to these people because they don't qualify. Unfortunately, a lot of real estate agents think about their commission. Okay? But that's their livelihood. So why would they not worry about their commission? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, best interest. Is this in the best interest of the customer for them to be purchasing this property? So they're two conflicting things. What you need to understand, if you are a real estate agent or if you're on that side of the business, you need to understand, is this buyer appropriate for the property? Okay? Don't try and sell a $6 million mansion to somebody with a $600,000 budget. Okay? Maybe the mansion is too overpriced. Or maybe that's not the right buyer. We're in a housing shortage at the moment, so there's no shortage of buyers out there. But you need to make sure that if you go to the right broker, someone that you've been recommended or anything, if they say, hey, this person can only borrow this much, and I don't think it's wise for them to purchase this property because settlement's going to fall over and then you're not going to end up getting paid, hey, maybe listen to that person. Okay? Now, if you want to go work with a broker that's willing to do some stupid things to get a loan approved, fantastic, but you're not going to have a long-standing relationship. What you're going to end up having is someone who works with you for 3 months. Okay, they're going to lose their accreditation with 1,000,001 banks, and not 1,000,001, with a bunch of banks, and then you're going to be left without a broker. Now, you always have to think to yourself, who do I want to work with? Who's going to be appropriate? And who's going to be ethical in the approach? Who's also going to make sure that if I have one client, okay, purchase one property, that client's going to come back to me, buy 5 properties.
Correct. Long term, as you said before.
Interview the broker.
Yeah.
Find out what their values are. Find out what their ethics are. Find out what, their business has been built upon. Principles. All those things. So you ask me a very loaded question. Where do I see the relationship falling down? I see the relationship falling down when you work with someone that's after the short term, not the long term. Yeah, it's just always make sure you're working with the right people because you will last in this industry and you'll build something great. Okay? And I say this from a position of, I'm 34 years old. I'm not old. I haven't been in this game for that long, but I just know that I've got referral partners that keep calling me back and they keep saying, hey, can you help me with this? Help me with that. That's what has helped me build my business. And I'm quite proud of that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Joe, on the show, we have our 60-second quiz to find out a little bit more about our guests. Are you willing to play?
No choice.
All right,
here we go.
Here we go. Favorite movie?
Oh, let's start that again. Can we do that again? I'm sorry, I didn't know there was going to be questions like this. I'm sitting there and I'm going, all right, let's go again. All right.
Here we go. Favorite movie?
Dark Knight.
Favorite food?
McDonald's, Patstone Macca's at 2 a.m. on the way home from the office. Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
All right, next. Favorite holiday?
Cape Town, South Africa.
Beautiful.
I know I mentioned it earlier, but it is the best place I've ever been to.
Beautiful. What's your morning routine?
We discussed this off there, but wake up usually 2 a.m, meditate, cold shower, gym, do weights, cardio, yoga, get back to the desk, do about 3 hours of deep work, and then take the dogs for a walk, come back home, one more shower, then go to the office.
Fantastic. What's your evening routine?
Bed. Bit of meditation there too, but yeah, bed.
Beautiful. Do you have a biggest regret?
Yeah, heaps. Oh my God, wow, Jesus Christ. No, I can't get into that, wow. Yeah, no, we'll get some regrets there.
All right.
But best lessons I've ever learned too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Most embarrassing moment?
My life? Everything before I was 24 years old. Let's go with that.
Okay, all right, sounds good. If you could choose 5 inspirational people to have dinner with, who would they be? They could be dead or alive.
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Jesus Christ, Alex Hormozy, and you got me stuck on number 1. Oh man, I'm stuck for 5th. Me in 20 years.
Ooh, that's a first one.
Fuck, that's arrogant. No, let's do something else.
I like that.
Actually, Rogan, because Rogan actually knows that. Joe Rogan knows how to get a lot of answers out of people.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Fantastic. If you were Prime Minister for the day, what's one thing that you would change?
I don't think you want that answer. No, okay, so here's the answer. Okay, this is one thing I want to know. So we have a government efficiency problem, okay? But a lot of people within government don't know, a lot of people that don't work within government don't know that people aren't incentive based. So what I would do in the housing sector is I would introduce an overtime, okay? An overtime where people could work the extra hours, but within that overtime, it's KPI based.
Great.
So people could earn double time.
Yep.
Okay, but you do have to hit these targets, and you've got to make sure you work through these files. And I believe that would actually improve the efficiency within the government. They don't have to hire and train new people. What they need to do is pay the people that already work for them a little bit more. And their regular hours aren't KPI based, but the overtime hours are.
Fantastic. Great. Okay.
I actually came up with that idea on Friday, so I got
Yeah. All right. Last question. What's your best piece of advice?
I don't want to say it because Alex almost said it a couple of weeks ago. Just work so hard that you go from unfreaking desirable to ungoddamn deniable. Yeah, and I'm about to cry soon. That's it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Joe, it's an honour and a privilege to have you on the show. We'll have all the contact details to where to follow you, where to get in contact with you. Any last messages, any last piece of advice out there?
The last piece of advice is if you are a broker or if you're a real estate agent, and if somebody is purchasing using the 5% first home guarantee, especially in New South Wales, if they do go over that $1 million price cap, stamp duty will be applicable because stamp duty concessions and the first home guarantee aren't the same thing. And the second thing I want to mention is if you are using the first home guarantee, it doesn't work the same as stamp duty. The moment that you turn the property into an investment property, but the government is still a guarantor on the loan, they will remove themselves as a guarantor, they will hit you with a fine, and you will be forced to pay the lender's mortgage insurance.
Ooh.
Yeah. So last two pieces of advice are just basically about the new 5% deposit scheme.
Got it. Excellent. Really appreciate you being on the show. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you so much for having me.